Let's commence the absolute best season to exist. Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a video that we all love to watch. We are going to be picking our October TBR. Insane that it's already October. And that's why I have my little ghost face shirt. Scream movies are my absolute everything, and I thought the first video of spooky season needed to have a little bit of my love for it. So today's TBR video is gonna be really fun. I know you guys have seen this everywhere all over YouTube. I have a little cup full of TBR prompts that I'm going to be picking out of and matching the books on my cart. Now, if you watched my book cart video, you know that I said that I didn't put all the books that I haven't read on there yet, but for the sake of this video, they're all here and half my bookshelf is empty. But let's not talk about that. Also, if you're looking at my cart, you probably noticed that I have another TBR video up where a lot of these books were chosen for, but somehow they're right back here. Anyways, without any further ado, let's start. So I think just like all other months, I'm gonna be picking 7 books. So that means 7 prompts from here. I'm gonna pick a prompt, look at my book cart, figure out what books apply, and then I'll let you guys know my selections and my options. Okay, let's start. I know it looks like I don't have that much in here, but I promise you there's a lot. Okay, our first prompt. Oh, this is perfect for the fall time. Dark Academia. So basically, I'm just gonna go through my shelves and see which ones apply to the Dark Academia, and I'll show you guys my options. Ninth House, In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, Maiden's Count, this one. I think those are the only Dark Academia that I have. So my options are All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and C.L. Herman. I don't really know what this book is about, but as I looked it up, it said it's witchy and just has a very gothic Dark Academia feel. Then I have The Maidens by Alex McLeod's. It's the same plot as most Dark Academia goes. And then I have In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, which I think is really interesting because it's been 10 years after they graduated and they get an invitation to go to this party where someone had died 10 years ago and they're basically trying to unravel who the killer is. And then lastly, I have Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is real hard. I think I'm gonna put In My Dreams I Hold a Knife away. I think I'm gonna put All of Us Villains away as well. I think I'm gonna go with The Maidens. I don't know why, I'm just really called to this book, even though I really want to read Ninth House, but I think I'm gonna go with The Maidens. The reason that I picked this is because I heard that the narrator is also really unreliable. I also genuinely really loved The Silent Patient. So Rana is a therapist who once went to Cambridge as well, and she's basically trying to uncover the murder and trying to find proof that Edward Fosca had committed the murder, although she knows that, but she doesn't have any proof to it. I think that's what it is. Can you see how confused I am? Sometimes I just buy these books without really knowing what they're about just because I look at the author, I look at other books that they've had. Okay, let's pick our second book. Our second prompt is a book you know nothing about. That's interesting. What books do I know nothing about? I think I know most of these. I think the only one that I don't know the synopsis for is probably All of Us Villains. Oh, and then there's Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry. That was kind of disappointing. The only 2 that I know nothing about is All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody, C.L. Herman, and Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry by Joya Goffney. I didn't know anything prior to this, but now I'm gonna read the back of the book and then see which one I feel most drawn to read. I've read the back of the books. This one seems like there's a lot to it, a whole world that you get into, and I feel like I want to have like a cute little rom-com. Like, I love having these like big fantasy-ish Dark Academia books for the fall time, but I also need palette cleansers because some of these books are very heavy on like there's so much description, there's so much going on, there's all this, and I think a cute little romance palette cleanser is very necessary. I think for a book I know nothing about, I'm gonna go with Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry. Reading the back, I think this is gonna be really cute. To me, it's giving To All the Boys I Loved Before meeting like the Duff, if you guys get what I'm saying. Yeah, so I'm gonna pick this. Let's put this one back. Okay, book 3. A book with a pretty cover. Okay, this is real fun. I'm gonna pick out all the books that I think have the prettiest covers and I'll show you guys. For 5, I have 5 books for this prompt. I buy a lot of books based on their covers. So the first one I have is It All Comes Back to You by Faraz Rishi. And this is a little rom-com YA South Asian romance. You can't tell me this cover isn't so adorable. And then my other option is The Shadows Between Us by Tricia Levenseller. I'm obsessed with this cover. This cover, like, I don't know, it's just so pretty. I love the contrast between the silver and the black and the reds. It just looks pretty. And then I have around the same vibe, One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. Also very stunning cover. I love the white and red. And then I have Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. This is a story of Jax from the Caraval trilogy. This is so pretty. Like, I love the colors of it. And then lastly, I have Anatomy by Dana Schwartz. This is a girl. Her gown is in the shape of a literal anatomical heart. I think I have to pick this one. And then you open it and I have to. This is the prettiest cover I own. I'm gonna go with this one. This is a gothic romance set in Edinburgh, and she's basically a surgeon. This is a romance between Hazel, who's a surgeon, and Jack, who digging up bodies. I think this is stunning. Okay, let's pick number 4. Ooh, okay, this is fun. Book with BIPOC author. So there is Rana, Shivani Patel, Yulin Kwang, Sonia Lally, Anna Huang. So for these, I got It All Comes Back to You by Farnaz Rishi, which I just showed you guys. I have First Love Take 2 by Shivani Patel, How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwang, Holly Jolly Diwali by Sonia Lally, and King of Wrath by Anna Huang. Okay, these are all romances, but I think I know what I'm going to pick. I think out of all of these books, I'm going to choose First Love Take 2 by Shivani Patel. This is the second book in her interconnected series. I think it's not even a series, it's just 2 books. This character was in the first book, which is The Trouble with Hating You, which was one of my absolute favorite books. So I'm gonna keep those there, and then let's put these back. That was a very easy pick for me. Okay, there's 3 more left. Written by a man. I don't think I have a lot of those. I think the only one I have is Nicholas Sparks. Yeah, that's the only one I have. And I had The Maidens, but I picked that already. So we're gonna go with Nicholas Sparks, Every Breath. I love Nicholas Sparks. He was one of my all-time favorite authors when I was younger. I went through almost his entire catalog, I think up until 2016. But after that, I like kind of stopped reading because of college. I'm excited for this. This scares me a little bit, but that's beside the point. Yeah, if you don't know who this is the author of A Walk to Remember, Dear John, The Notebook, Message in a Bottle, The Last Song. So many beautiful, heartbreaking, tragic movies and books. The thing is, I have no other books written by a man. I don't know, I just like reading books written by women. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 more. Book I've been gifted. Okay, I don't know how many of those I have left. Okay, I've been gifted Stolen Air. Is that it? Yeah, all the other books I've just bought for myself. I guess the only option I have is The Stolen Air by Holly Black. This is Oak's story after the Folk of the Air series. Okay, here's our last and final book. Let's make it a good one. A book by my favorite author. Okay, this is a good one. So I can say Wish You Were Here by Renee Carlino, Olivia Blake. I'm actually excited that I got these 2 to pick from. This is a fantasy retelling of Romeo and Juliet, which I think could be fun. I'm looking at all the books that I've picked, and I feel like there is more romance than I thought that there would be. Or this is a romance, which there's not a single book of hers that I've hated. So the thing is, I have 2 rom-coms and it's October, and I don't want to add another romance. So I think I'm gonna go for One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. This is a fantasy retelling of Romeo and Juliet taking place in New York City. When I read the back, it gives me sort of West Side Story. I kind of want to do one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because the books I picked are kind of... Should we do one more? Should we do it? Well, let's do one more. I'm glad I did another one. A book you think you'll love. You know what? I have a book specifically in my mind for this, and I don't think I'm going to pick out any of the other ones, and I'm just gonna go for that one. And it is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I am so late to this book. It's perfect. It's perfect. I know I'm going to love it. I think that is why I've just delayed it. This is a somewhat fantasy. I think it's perfect for October. Okay, I've picked out my books based on my prompts, and let's go over them. So for Dark Academia, I got The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. For a book I know nothing about, Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry by Joya Gothamy. For a book with a pretty cover, I got Anatomy by Dana Schwartz. For a book with the BIPOC author, I picked First Love Take 2 by Shivani Patel. For a book written by a man, I picked Every Breath by Nicholas Sparks. For a book book by my favorite author, One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. For a book I've been gifted, I picked The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. And lastly, for October, a book that I think I'll love, I picked The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This is a selection, to say the least. These books are all great. I'm really glad that I got these, honestly. I'm actually really excited that these are the books that I got. I try to carry them. This is so exciting. I love this entire set of books. I'm really excited that October is here. It's time for all the dark witchy books to make their appearance. It's time for us to get in that fantasy and get out of the summer romance era. But yeah, so these are the 8 books I picked. Hopefully I get through them. Maybe you'll see some of them in reading vlogs. Maybe I won't even touch some of these. I don't know. We'll see how the month goes. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for sticking around, watching me pick out my October TBR. This is fun. I love telling you guys what I'm reading. My goal for this year, as I've said in literally every single video I've posted, is to get through as much of my physical TBR as I can, just because as you can see, my entire cart was full. I can actually bring in the books that were in the back to the front now. Yeah, my entire cart was full and just want to get through these before I spend money on more. Thanks for sticking around. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have a wonderful reading month as well, and happy spooky season. See you guys next video. Bye!